That's not too bad. Trey Murphy the third. I think everyone feels like he needs to take a bit of a jump. When you look at them potentially picking up DeJounte Murray, where does he fit into that? He's definitely steals and blocks, but I don't know if he's going to give you a lot of the other stuff.
I was so torn.
Elbridge,
I was so torn on that pick actually. That's a good pick there to just break down a little bit. I was sitting there. I think it was a 2 minute clock or 90-second clock maybe. I was so torn between Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, which are both
yeah,
teammates. And I picked them up as free agents. I think last season because we only played with a league of six. Yeah, so we had so many free agents to play around with, which probably was a big part of me being able to maybe take a bit more risk and sort of be able to swing my comeback that came, that happened. But I guess I was sitting here 90 seconds, literally, it was probably like 2 seconds left. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Because they give you different things. Like they both are productive players at that sort of sixth round sort of value, but they give you different things. I was like, oh, Herb Jones gives you some of these defensive stats that Trey Murphy doesn't give you, but Trey Murphy gives you probably more offense and shooting and threes and little things like that. And I was like, oh man, I don't know which way to go, man. Which way would you have gone, man? If you're sitting there when we draft in a few weeks' time in our own league, man, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, which way would you lean, man?
I think the Herb Jones is the defensive stats. I feel like that's his bread and butter. That's what he gives you. So that would be my motivation for him. Because I feel like you've probably got your points, rebounds, and threes elsewhere. But New Orleans has to figure it out, right? If they're going to become a serious team, one of those role players is going to have to find a niche, and it is going to be Murphy or Herb Jones. So hopefully for you,
This
it's Trey Murphy.
Herb Jones is a player. Have you picked him up before? Have you ever had him on your roster?
I think I picked him up as a
Okay,
free agent
okay,
last season, but it
okay.
didn't really pan out.
Yeah, he's a guy. I swear that, and I'm sure there's plenty of these guys out there. As a free agent, you pick him up, especially for the fringe stats like blocks and steals. Yeah, he's sort of that sort of player, and then he does you a little bit here and there. Yeah, but and then you pick him up and you got him for a week, and you go, oh, I saw him last week. He got a five
Mm.
steal, three block game. I need one of those from him. That'll be worth my while. And then you have him for a week, and then he gets like nothing but one steal and one block here and there, and maybe one game he gets one steal and a block. Woohoo, yeah. And then you go, oh, do I ride him one more week? Yeah. And then I swear at some point you drop him, say 2 weeks in, and then the third week, oh well, he'll have another 5-3 game, and you go, oh damn. But it's like that's sort of the I think the ownership of a player like that, until they actually consistently are able to do that. And obviously Herb Jones comes off the bench sometimes. He starts a few games. There's no real consistency in his role sometimes, depending on sort of injuries and stuff like that too.
That's the hardest part when you're looking at box scores because when you're picking up free agents, you're kind of scanning for potential, right? So you scroll through a box scores like theirs and you see the 4 blocks or 4 steals game and you get really enticed. And then you kind of ignore the zeros or the ones in the other games for the week.